Good evening, disc golfers, and welcome to a very, very special episode of the 19th hole. We're sitting in the warehouse here, Mike and I. What do you think, man?
I mean, come on, you want to talk top notch, the
It's
biggest
huge.
and the best.
Huge.
We will have plenty of posts of all of this on our site, so check it out. But more importantly than that,
These
we've got
two
a couple
guests.
of guests here tonight that we're so excited about. So let's just not waste any more time and go ahead and introduce five-time world champion Paul McBeth. Paul, thank you so much for taking the time to join us
I
tonight.
appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
And right
Paul,
beside him,
you guys know Doug Bjerkaas. Doug, thanks, buddy.
Hey,
heck yeah.
glad
for
to be
being
here.
here.
Thank you guys both so much. And we want to talk tonight about the Paul McBeth Foundation. And Paul, this is exciting news. I mean, this started, it was more of a dream for you back in about 2013, I believe. Why don't you go ahead and elaborate on that for a minute?
Yeah, 2013. I have it written in a notebook. That's kind of when I finally put it down on paper, and just the foundation is us. Well, I mean, I have my name associated with it, so I mean, I have a huge team behind me that makes this possible. But we're working on underserved areas to get disc golf into, whether it's outside the U.S., some major cities in the U.S., and trying to help in any way that we can. And we have our first project coming up here soon, so I'm so excited.
Yeah, and tell us about where that project is. Most of our viewers know, but just elaborate a little bit on why we chose that area or why you guys chose that area out of the gate. Like,
Yeah, the first project, it's in La Paz, Mexico, and it still surprises me, but a lot of people don't know that I'm Mexican. So going to Mexico was the stop that I wanted first, and the team wanted first. So we're able to find a location, and yeah, Doug, can you expand a little bit more
I mean, yeah,
on,
because
the location?
this guy sitting beside you is,
Yeah.
is the one of the directors of the nonprofit. Is that correct?
Co-chair of the board of directors. So
Yes.
we are a nonprofit. We've
Correct.
applied for 501
C3, yeah.
C3 status, and so you have to have a board, and there's a handful of us that are serving on it. But
It's funny. It feels like you and I have been down this road at one point.
yeah, you were heading in that direction at one point with
We
Throw
were.
Colorado.
We
But
were.
yeah, no, Mexico popped up, and one of the things we talked about. I know when Paul first started meeting, we were thinking maybe in 2022 we'd
Oh,
have our
yeah.
first project.
Oh,
And-
definitely. This is taken off so much faster than I think we all anticipated.
Yeah, it's exciting. We found a great spot, and just putting disc golf in front of people that would not have had a chance to have disc golf in front of them is
Absolutely.
just it's really awesome.
And like Mike said, the idea of a youngster coming out of one of these courses that goes in, under your name, Paul, you might be playing against this kid one day. You know what I mean? And he's the next Grand Slam winner. You know?
I would love to see that.
I was
gonna
that's,
say,
that's one of my goals.
I can't imagine that would be a problem for you if one of these awesome kids came out of one of these communities to challenge you in a world
Oh.
championship.
I would love it.
So-
That would be so cool.
What's the plan to get not only baskets, but how are we going to get bags and discs to these kids that are and not just kids? Let's be honest. I mean, this is a
Yep.
community. It's going to be adults and everyone alike. How are we?
Definitely.
What's your plan, Paul, for getting discs down there? And how can someone, if someone wanted to help out, like Mike and I, how do we get discs down there?
Yeah, right now we're in a very fortunate position where Dynamic Disc and Discraft have stepped up and donated baskets and discs. So the first couple projects were pretty set with that. That we're gonna have an abundance, and then I think all donations are welcome, whether
Cool.
it's discs, baskets,
And that's just going
Money,
simply to
yeah,
your
or
website,
time.
the Paul McBeth Foundation.
PaulMcBethFoundation.org.
.org.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, this is, these projects are gonna be all around the world.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and when you start something this big, you know as well as I do, Mike, it moves fast. Like Doug just said, we were thinking 2022. Now there's already a course going in. You have another. How many courses do you plan on maybe getting in this year?
can we say
Uh,
I mean, we've read things. We did our homework. So
between it's a couple. We have a couple
2 to
that
3.
we're working on. Yeah, we've been contacted by hundreds and hundreds of people. Like I said, it's blown up a lot bigger than anticipated right away. But we're trying to filter through them and find out where we feel like the best sustainable spots are right now.
Yeah.
Because I think the worst thing would be send baskets somewhere and they just kind of get overgrown. It's not taken care of, and
Absolutely.
we're not really doing our mission. So
So leading into that, is there a plan to maintain these? Are you going to pick, a representative from wherever that course is that maybe maintains that course for you?
I think wherever the course goes in the ground, we obviously are going to need somebody that is passionate about it or wants to be
Exactly.
passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I think just as important as having baskets and discs and tee pads is to have folks know how to run a league, how to teach people, how to promote the course, how to get,
Yeah.
Most disc golf clubs are grassroots type organizations. We almost want to create these grassroots
Absolutely.
environments in these areas.
I
So,
got to be honest, if I saw you two walk onto the course and you asked for a volunteer, I would quit my day job and completely dedicate my entire life to that course. So I don't think it's going to be hard for you guys.
yeah, we
to
need
make
some
that
help
happen.
out at the country club this weekend. Are you ready to spot?
He'll be there.
You know what? If you,
He will be there.
if you guys will do this for us, I'll go do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Paul, let me ask you this. Also, upon doing some research, we noticed now that there's actually a place where people can go and purchase some of your merchandise, the licensed Paul McBeth line. Tell us a little bit how that works and how that money is going to filter its way back into this organization too.
so so like we had the discs, right?
Yep.
The sweatshirts, the hats, and the proceeds of that are going back into whether it's the baskets, the discs, the funding, future projects, and then I think also getting people there to install these.
Yeah.
So all the proceeds of that are going back right into the foundation.
Plus, there's signage, and then there's all kinds of
Yep,
things. It's
there's
not
signs
just
and all
it's
that
not as
stuff.
easy as putting in baskets and tee pads.
Mhm.
So we know that especially. The tee signs could
Yeah.
easily. That's one of your big expenses as
So,
well.
so only to elaborate about this for just another second, tell me about these discs and these products that these people are these exclusive opportunities for these people to get their hands on something that they can't get anywhere else and still help you guys.
Yeah, I believe the first set of discs was the dynamic disc. There was 4 molds. To be honest, I don't know what the mold names are. I know one's a slammer.
Yeah.
Was it a judge?
Slammer, I should know
True.
this too.
Putting these guys on the spot
Justice-
right
alright,
here,
that's it,
folks.
That's it.
Yeah.
Justice, truth, slammer, judge.
Hey,
So-
it's
Oh,
okay.
that's
and
that's
those-
an awesome lineup,
Yeah.
actually.
It's not like you two have anything better to do than
Yeah.
prepare for this interview.
Right,
We get it.
exactly.
And they're scented, but they all sold out like within the first 3 minutes. So
Wow.
Really?
I'm so
Yo-
thankful for that. Yeah.
Wow.
I guess
And,
so.
but yeah, we had some merchandise and the disc sold out. We still have a couple sweatshirts. We'll have some new products coming up here shortly, I believe, and then those proceeds are going to helping install
That's
more
so
courses.
awesome.
I mean, I kind of feel like this is a silly question, but I want to answer, or I want to ask it anyway. What's the end goal for the Paul McBeth Foundation? And it's probably endless, right? Like
Yeah.
just nonstop courses going in. But is there going to be a point when you're happy, or are you happy when the first one goes in? Like you did it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'll be so happy when the first one
Yeah.
goes in. And I think I'm gonna get that feeling because I've been talking actually this week, and a lot of players have been asking me about it. Because we actually have a project in line now. We have the dates, we have the people going to do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of players have been asking me, and I'm just kind of like, well, where would you love to see disc golf that it's not? And I I haven't even talked to Doug or anyone else, but I would love to be able for these pros to pick a spot where we can find it, and we send them to go install that.
That's a really great idea. So it's almost like I'm not throwing anything
Yeah.
out there, viewers, at all. But it's almost like if you and Ricky and Eagle, you guys are out shooting it, and and you're like, hey guys, whoever beats me this weekend, I'll let you pick the next location for the Paul McBeth
Yeah,
Foundation.
so I've been
That's kind of cool idea, man.
I've definitely been asking some people. Eagles stands out because he said the Himalayas. He would love to go to the
Oh,
Himalayas
wow.
somewhere out there. So
God, he's so young and wise.
Right.
so I think that's definitely a road that can go down later. But I'm just
Man, I tell you what, this is tough because we want to talk to you all
We
night,
do.
Paul, and I know we're under time
Well,
constraints,
yeah.
and our
We wanna-
producers are telling us we got to move on.
We got to
so-
move, but we want to hit some things that maybe we haven't heard in other interviews. And just, from stalking you, I know that you're a UFC fan.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite UFC fighter?
favorite fighter. Oh man, that's hard to pick.
It's got to be an all-time. Like, for me, it's got to be Tank Abbott. He was just,
Tank. Yeah,
yeah,
Tank plays disc golf.
he was just a brawler, man.
Yeah, he's from Huntington Beach too.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
yeah.
All right, you got one.
man.
Come on.
Man, I don't know. I have so many that I like. You know,
Got one that might be coming to spectate this weekend,
oh
right?
yeah, Julian Marquez is coming. He's coming tomorrow.
No,
really?
Yeah.
Is that right?
185.
You
Yep.
heard it here.
Yeah, he'll be here tomorrow.
Cool.
Askren's probably my favorite because I
Ben.
buddies with him. Yeah. Ben.
All right. All right.
But-
So one of Ben back there, standing up, he said he has spotted you in Broncos gear. Are you a Broncos fan?
Yep.
You
Yeah,
are. How'd that happen?
Well, my dad lived in Denver for a little bit, so he brought that back. But
Okay.
I'm definitely a Broncos fan. But I'm more of a fan of players than teams in most sports.
I like that.
You know, like
Yeah.
I like watching the Seahawks because I love Russell Wilson. Don't really care for a lot of the other players, but
Right.
just love the. I'm a fan of players more.
Sherman. You gotta love Sherman.
Sherman, yeah, but he's not
Right.
there anymore. He's
So-
in San Francisco.
We know
He
you
is.
grew
That's
up
my
playing
team.
baseball. We know
Yep.
that you had a dream to be a professional baseball
Right.
player as a kid. What other sports do you love?
To be honest, I love all sports. I just love being active, being outside, competing. Football was probably my second favorite. The one I played the least is probably soccer. That's one, but I love basketball.
All
I
right. So
love
you
all
like
sports.
players more. So
Yeah.
give us quick favorite baseball player of all time.
Jeter,
Favorite football player of all time.
Terrell Davis.
That's really the only two sports I
That was
like.
right. I'm
Basketball,
like
maybe?
satisfied
I mean,
right
Jordan.
there.
You got to go with Jordan, right? All right.
Kobe was basketball.
What is one meal that you can cook at home that is just like nobody says no to?
The Paul Macbeth special.
What's your go-to cooking at home? You doing it?
I'm not a cook, to be honest. It's sad.
There's got to be something you can make that's delicious.
To be honest, what is it? Probably taco salad. Probably the best one.
Done.
Hey,
salad.
I'm ready to
I'm
come
in
over
on
for some
that.
taco salad.
So, Paul, we want to do something special. This came from Mike's shop. Mike saved this back.
I
If you don't
forgot
mind,
about
real
this.
quick, we're gonna have Paul sign this if he would for us, and we're gonna raffle this off on our page, and all the proceeds, Mike,
Yeah, we're gonna go to the Paul Macbeth
Paul
Foundation.
Macbeth
That's
Foundation.
awesome.
So, if you don't mind signing,
I forgot
Yeah.
all about that. Yes, thank you for remembering that.
I'm trying, buddy. I know we got to get him
We're
out of here.
making
They're
Paul
busy.
double dip here. He's got to sign stuff, give
Thanks,
thanks
brother.
at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I just want to thank. One of the big inspirations to the Paul Macbeth Foundation is that I had a course close by to me in Huntington Beach, Central Park. So, anyone that was associated with the Higher Flyer Club, that course, Huntington Beach, I could name so many people, but they were the big inspiration because they took me under their wing. You know, all of them did, and they were kind of like older brothers and father figures to me, and that's kind of what I would love for the Paul Macbeth Foundation to do to so many.
I mean, it sounds like the same interview we had last night with Scott Stokely.
Yeah.
With everything he went through. He was kind of taken in not once, twice,
Yeah.
but like 3 times by the disc golf community. Hey guys, we need to wrap this up. These guys are busy, so please hit that like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel. 5-time world champion Paul Macbeth, the tournament director of the greatest tournament on earth, Mr. Doug Bjerkaas. Thank you, gentlemen, very much for taking time out.
Thank you.
It's been so fun.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Heck yeah. Thank you guys. We'll see you guys next week.